No, I started a podcast in my basement, and I'm now at the Cosmo in Las Vegas doing a live episode with a full production. Like,
Come on, now,
I'm not trying to gas myself up here.
No, gas.
But, like, I want you guys to do that as well. Like, take pride in the fact that you're sitting in this room.
100%.
Because there's a lot of people that are too afraid to even admit that they have to do something different to get to somewhere different.
So we finished the morning talking about recruiting, but more specifically, culture's impact on recruiting. And we got a little special treat for you guys this afternoon. You guys are both, man, it's going to be a definite treat. They're already dancing in the back. Many of you guys know who Tre and Vinnie are probably from social media. Lots of people ask us, like, man, this athletic aesthetic thing, the Athletic Aesthetic podcast. See, I get it right, Tre. Why can't you get it right? The podcast, like, you know, what is it? Why does it benefit, you know, our organization? And what the heck are these guys doing hanging around? And some of you probably know this, but, like, you know, Vinnie started working for us in December. So Vinnie's an artist and has been for many, many years. He's painted cleats for many of the guys in the NFL during the My Cause, My Cleats weeks. Unbelievable artist. He paints portraits of athletes that are just unbelievable. And then, you know, Tre obviously played for the University of Pittsburgh for a number of years. He won the Disney Spirit Award for being the most inspirational athlete in all of college football in 2021. And so people say, like, you know, what does this have to do with paving? And the reality is what we've figured out as a company is that sports really is culture, and it really is community, and it's an easy way to tap into communities and to get, you know, people paying attention to what we're doing. But above all of that, and strategically, that has led to, you know, many introductions of relationships. We've had meetings with the big three in Pittsburgh, so the Pirates, Steelers, and Penguins, more to come on that stuff. All of that has been generated through this relationship between, you know, sports and business. But above all that, man, you know, when these two guys showed up in my life, Vinnie showed up late in my life, of course, but when these two guys showed up in my life, I knew it would be special. I really did. You know, from the moment that I met them both, there was something unique about them that I knew we had to have in our company. I said it earlier, but you know, there's a care that people have. There's just a winning attitude that people have, and there's an energy that people have that they bring to an organization. And when you have that, everybody knows what that looks like. You know, I call it the +1 multiplier, right? It's like when you have that, everything just moves better and does better when you have people like this around. So not only are these two guys just unbelievably amazing human beings, but they've become really good friends of mine, and I'm excited to introduce you guys to Vinnie Candelori and Mr. Tre Tipton.
I'm scared up here, bro. I was like, I know I'm not dancing up here now. Like, I got a little wiggle over here. Y'all see this?
Yeah.
We should make it. We should make it.
It would make for good content, though, if we go down. I will say.
I
think Jenna's setting us up, honestly. She's like, you want to go viral? All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah. But yeah, so my name is Vinnie. Tre is my co-host. You guys have obviously seen us around here. You've seen Tre here. And honestly, just being here right now is crazy. I was talking to Tre outside, and like just the fact that you guys are willing to open up this community to our show and just invite us in. This is my first TCS retreat, so like seeing this for the first time and being up here on my first time is like, it's incredible to see the community in this room.
100%.
So, you know, I want to start just by thanking you guys and give yourself an applause because like this is something special. Something special.
I would definitely agree, man. This is more than just family, you know, like you don't see stuff like this consistently. And I know I keep bringing up that word family, because that's the world to me. One thing that somebody in here and I share is I recently found out that I was adopted, right? So that was very tough for me and very, very difficult for me. But when you have a support system, such as Brian, such as Jay, such as Jenna, and all these great people, it never felt like I was alone. You know what I'm saying? So if you hear me saying family so much as if I'm trying to chant it, I am, all right? So I'm trying to put it in your ear as much as possible, but we're so thankful for being here. And I didn't get a chance to say yet, but I'm gonna put it out there now. Everybody who's in the TPG area and also are in operations, Trudy and Trisha and everybody involved, Tony, I want you to understand I genuinely appreciate the stuff that you guys do because I had to live through that terrible moment of life, you know? So I appreciate every single thing you guys do. Tony, I'm sorry I didn't tell you about Lusk. I owe you one. We'll talk about it another time, though. You'll be all right. But yeah, thank you guys, and we appreciate you guys having us here.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things we were talking about, like, how do we marry our podcast with the TCS retreat? And some of you guys are probably thinking that as well. So we're going to figure that out here in the next 45 minutes.
We're going to make it work for you guys.
But no, I think the realization for me, and this is something I've learned even in the last 6 months since I started working with the Pavement Group, it's separating your vehicle from your destination.
Top.
And I think that, you know, a lot of people can relate to that with their business. A lot of people can relate, you know, because I'm sure you all sit here and you have unique businesses that are unique to you. You know what I mean? You're like, you know, I get we're in all in the same industry, but you know, like nobody understands the uniqueness of my business. It's like it's mine, you know. And what Brian talked about, you know, building a system, not yourself.
Right.
You're building something bigger than yourself, and that is why we're here.
Right.
You know, like I'm an artist. You're a football player. I was a football player, not as good as Tre, so that's why they just call me an artist, not a football player. But I almost beat you in the shuttle, though.
Listen, stop lying to these people. We ain't gonna do that.
Hold on, am I lying, though?
Listen, we got it on tape. Where's Swing at? Swing. You got it on tape. Who won? Who won? Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
he
simple.
beat me by 1/10 of a second, so.
A win's a win. Say it again. Say it all together. Win's a win.
If you guys,
You know.
you guys see me train, you guys see me training in the office, you know why. I'm just kidding.
But it's funny though, because like we compete over everything, and then we bring Brian into it, and then that always gets worse. You know what I'm saying? And it's just we can't help it. It's the competitive attitude in our lifestyle. So.
Yeah, but yeah, so I mean, kind of like along the lines of what you're saying there, like we've competed in our different fields. So like me as an artist, I wanted to become the best artist I could become, and you wanted to become the best football player that you could become. And for me, for a long time, that was my goal, was I want to be the best artist I can be, because, you know, you got the competitive, we always say, you know, the athlete never leaves. You got that competitive spirit in you when you leave sports and go into the world of business or whatever you do. And I realized, though, that when the art was the thing that was the focus, the destination would become a little bit blurry. And that's why when I realized that the art was actually just the vehicle that was taking me to where I wanted to go. There were bigger things I want out of my life than just being an artist that people say, hey, great painting. You know, this is amazing or whatever. Like I want to do things. I want to help people. I want to change lives. I want to, you know, use my art to get there. And when I separated my identity from what I do, then it allows me to walk into rooms like this where, you know, I might not naturally fit. If I was just an artist up here, just focused on making art, you know, you might pay me to come do a painting at your event. It's a 15-minute segment, and that's it, you know? But I see the bigger vision of where not only the Pavement Group is going, but this group of TCS as well. And, I mean, I'd be crazy to not want to plug into it because, like, you know, one of the questions earlier was, you know, how do you incentivize people to stick around and whatever? Right. For me, it's just like, you know when people are real and when people are just doing nice things to try to get you to stick around.
100%.
You could probably relate to that a little bit with football, because when you're being recruited as an athlete, how many coaches just try to hype you up and then what happens when you get there?
I could spot a professional liar a mile away, let me tell you. Especially playing in college sports, man. My whole life I grew up saying, I'm going to be a football player, I'm going to be a football player, I'm going to be a football player, right?
Yeah.
Spent 7 years out of college, not because I was stupid, but because I was cheating the system, trying to get more money out of them. You know what I'm saying? So, and it turned out in my favor, can't lie, definitely did. Definitely cheated the system in a lot of different ways, but got 2 degrees and a couple injuries to go along with that, but I've been very blessed, very beyond blessed. But when I had my opportunity to go to the league, right, and then realizing that there's always more to business, right? Like I didn't know that sports had such a business side to it, right? And I was like, I kind of lost myself. I was like, well, if I'm not a football player, what am I, right? And I know there's guys in here who've played a sport to a point where you've also had those same questions, like if I'm not this, then what am I? And I was like, bro, you're Tre. You're goofy. You got a crooked smile. You're kind of ugly in certain ways, but you look pretty in other ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how I talk to myself. So
that's going to be our
brain.
new line of merch. Pretty in certain ways.
Pretty in certain ways. So then I realized I was like, I'm more than that, man. And like I told you guys before, it meant the world to me. And I had to slow down when I was telling you guys because I was on the verge of crying. Like when Brian had said, he's like, you're a winner who feels like a loser. That was a real thing. Like, and I know Vinnie can also attest to this, is like we do something for so long and everybody tells us you're good at just that. So if I have 100 people telling me every day I'm good at just one thing, what do you think I'm gonna start to believe? Just that. So I had to realize that, Tre, you're better than just picking up a ball. You know what I mean? Football is the only sport with a death certificate. When you put it down, that's it, it's over, it's done, right? And I had a tough time dealing with that, but then I came to the pavement group and I was like, you know what, these people ain't half bad. You know what I mean? Trudy's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Miranda's fun as
But she brings the fruit snacks.
She brings the fruit snacks,
Crazy,
so I ain't complaining.
beautiful in other ways.
You know what I mean?
Fruit snacks.
And then you got Todd. Todd's a comedian. You know what I mean? Mike, I just started talking to Mike for real, because Mike's a little quiet. But me and Mike starting to get like this. Happy about that. You know what I mean? It's just there's so many different people, man. And then you get Jay, who sends you things from left field. You ask him one simple question, and now we're here for a monologue. And it's different, but I love it. Jay is my dude, man. I love everything about that guy. So it's definitely been a roller coaster. And as you can see, we're the two goofy guys in the group. But yeah, man, that's just been the best part about it, I guess.
Yeah, and for me, like my background, some of you may have known if I've talked to you, but you know, I grew up. My dad was a contractor. He was a construction worker, and weekends consisted of side projects, jobs we'd be doing, remodeling projects, building mantles for people's fireplaces. Didn't matter what it was, and I had no clue what I was doing, but I would just be the guy that was, you know, there to hand him the tools, and I'd pick up a few things. So I'm very familiar with. Like, you guys are like my people. You know, if I was sitting in a room full of artists right now, like artists look at me as an athlete. They don't look at me as an artist. They look at me as an athlete.
I would disagree.
They look at me.
I can't lie.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
It's like a forward backhand. You know what I'm saying? Like you're an athlete, but you're also a really good artist. And I mean this. Have you guys seen Brian's back wall? Have we all seen it? Have we seen it? So if he's saying that he's not an artist, would you guys disagree? That's beautiful right there, right?
Hear me out though. So no, I think I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate it. I think, but what I mean by that is like, you know, it's harder for me to connect to a room full of artists than it is a room full of blue-collar people that, you know, have their hands in the dirt and doing that type of work, because that's what I was born and raised and saw. Most of my family is in a trade of some sort. So, like, I'm an anomaly in my family. Like, when I told him I was going to be an artist, you know, it's not like a standing ovation, you know. It's like all right, we'll line some things up for when this falls through, and just let us know, and we'll be here. But you know, all jokes aside, like, you know, I watched my dad growing up had like a very stressful job where he eventually grew in a company, became a superintendent of a job site, and you know, starting from a base level of the company and grow into that, there was a lot of things that he had to learn on the fly. Right. And there was nothing like this for him to plug into at the time. So, you know, he would come home, and the things that you guys get to get on Zoom or, you know, call Brian or call someone and unload about your business, he didn't have that outlet. And what's the crazy part is my family never saw that either. So he just ate it. And, you know, my father passed away at 49 years old. He had colon cancer. And, you know, part of that is, you know, the way he took care of his body. Like, some of it is possibly genetics. You don't know with things like that, but I just know for sure that stress does not help. Right. And, bottling things up does not help. So when I first met with you and Brian, I remember the first time in the office, I remember.
There's CTE again, bro.
No, I'm just trying not to freaking cry, dude. Honestly. But it's also possibly CTE. Let's not rule that out. I remember saying, I could envision myself being a part of that community and speaking to people that are in my dad's place in a way, and saying what do you want for your son? What kind of future do you want to build for your son? Do you want to be there to see it? Because I would love more than anything in this world to plug my father into this community. So I think about the people that are out there that are him, that have no community like this, and I want to go get those people. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm sitting here. That's why I don't know how to do anything you guys do. I don't, but I have an appreciation that far surpasses my understanding. So, that's it. Now, and I know I just ranted forever. So
no, it's okay.
Pass the ball to you for a
I
second.
can't lie to you,
I don't know how to
man.
transition.
That is beautiful, man. I know a lot of you guys here can also resonate with what he's saying, right? We spend so much time trying to build a legacy, right? But how much time are we actually spending with our family? You know what I mean? We all get stressed out. We all get mad. Shoot, I'd be mad 9 times out of 10. I just smile through it. You feel me? But with that said, though, that's why it's so important for all of you to treat each other like family. I don't say that lightly. I really don't, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. The reason why Brian brought this all together is because he believes in that culture. Family. Say it with me. Family. It's so important. The reason why it's so important is because, again, we all get stressed out. We all get there. But I got to be relying on my brother to pick me up because you're part of my tribe now. Anthony, I don't mind. Do you mind if I share this great story? This incredible story. I'm with both Anthonys, okay? Both Anthonys. And we're talking. We're like, what has TCS done for you? And they were like, it's family. It's like getting a big hug is what as we all keep saying, but it's the truth, right? Imagine that. Because an entrepreneur is one of the most loneliest occupations in the entire industry, of any industry. Why is that? Because you're up all night of the hours, right? I can't tell my girl because my girl don't understand. I've been sitting here dealing with Billy Joe Bob for the last 3 hours, cussing me out. I don't know if he gets it, and I don't know if she gets it, right? But then you internalize it, right? And then your cup becomes way too full. Way too full. Now, I don't know if you see my story, and I don't mean to bring the mood down, but I'm honest as I always am, so I'm going to be honest with you. There was a time where my cup was way too full, and it tipped over and broke. Can't lie to you, it was the hardest thing in the world to bring myself back together. And I couldn't do it by myself. It took God, it took my tribe, and it took me realizing that I am done losing to me. Period. I don't care if I got to wake up and tell my ugly self, you are sexy as can be. God damn it, you better go out there and have a great time. I don't care what I got to do. It's important. I'm so serious. That's why having a family is so serious. Having a tribe is so serious. The guys who get on the calls every single time, it's so serious. Every chance that you take to be here with us, man, we take it seriously. I know Brian takes it very seriously because we need you to be a family. We need you to get our backs. That's why I had you all say it to each other. I got your back because times get hard. Fast. Very fast. Times get hard. Keith Sr., I want to tell you this in front of everybody because I didn't tell you this in person. I thank you so, so much. Let me catch myself because now I'm about to do the thing you're about to do. And I ain't trying to do that thing, you feel me?
You just forgot. I know it's CTE.
Yeah, I forgot CTE. I got to, get my mind together.
Anytime we're about to cry, let's just.
That's what we're going to say from now on, CTE. But I wanted to thank you because during that time period, we had that deep conversation. I was getting over the loss of my mom. And you were talking about the struggle between you and your son. Thank you. Thank you. You were talking about the struggle between you and your son. And I remember how much my mom struggled with me. Don't take that relationship for granted. Simple as that. Don't take it for granted.
No, that's beautiful.
Go ahead, move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Move on to the next one. Oh, man. Hold on now.
No, that's beautiful. I mean, I appreciate you being so vulnerable, man. I like when you. So for some of you that maybe this is your first experience watching our show here, we usually are a little bit more light, I guess. I don't know what it is about being in this room.
This is a dark room, you know what I mean?
I was just going to ask you what your top 5 football teams were that you like to watch. Like,
that just went that way, you know what I mean? Oh,
but,
man.
no, I think, you know, and I appreciate you, and what I was going with there is I started this show in my basement January 2022.
Yep.
And it was just me. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to do podcasting. I didn't know how to do any sort of video. I knew minimal. I was editing on iMovie at the time. I had no clue what I was doing. I was shooting it on an iPhone. I went through like probably, you know, $1,000 of different mics because I just kept buying the cheap ones from whatever website was cheapest. And then I just had to keep re-editing. And so I just...
You know the problem with that?
What?
We still buying the cheap stuff. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. We bought a rug the other day, and it ain't look that right. We thought it was gonna look right. The rug had a bunch of tigers on it. We were like, oh, this is gonna be a great rug. It came back. It was, what did you say, Brian? It was Bush League? Whatever that shit means, but it was that. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely that. It was without question that.
But where I was going with that, Trey.
My fault. My fault. We gotta be better.
I didn't know what I was doing. I just, for some reason, I thought starting a podcast would help my brand as an artist.
Right.
And then I thought that I had some cool stories to tell. And so I just sat in front of a camera, and it was just me for a year. I would have guests on, interview different athletes, and connections I made through doing art. And then when I met you, you know, it took the show to a new level. And so that's why I just wanted to say thank you for, you know, honestly, I wouldn't be sitting on this stage if it wasn't for you reaching out. It wasn't for, you know, meeting with Brian and all this stuff. So I owe a lot to you, bro.
Appreciate
And
that,
I love you like a brother now. People always ask us, like, how long have you known each other? I'm like, bro, I met him in, like, November.
Yeah, it's only a couple months.
It's crazy. But the topic of take action, right? That's what I had to do with the podcast. And if I sat there and thought about all the things that were technologically over my head, or the time that I didn't have to invest in it, or the hours that I was going to lose with sleep, or commission projects, because as a full-time artist, like, if you're not painting, like,
You broke.
you're
You broke.
that's how it is. So that's where I was at, and I wanted to just take action and do that. And I want to say that, like, me being on this stage, I want to make this about me, us being on this stage, it's because I took action, and I don't want to minimize that, because I think it's easy for you guys to sit in this room and you look at, you know, I'm just here, you know, like you said, get conferenced. Is that the phrase?
Get conferenced. Who said that?
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm taking that. That's going to be a
Yeah.
shirt.
But, like, you know, don't minimize the fact that you're here right now. Like, you know, it's easy for me to be like, oh, it's a natural progression. I work at Pavement Group. We got this event. Brian asked me to be like, no, I started a podcast in my basement, and I'm now at the Cosmo in Las Vegas doing a live episode with a full production. Like, you know, I'm not trying to, like,
Come on. Nah,
I'm not trying to gas myself up here.
No, gas.
But, like, I want you guys to do that as well. Like, take pride in the fact that you're sitting in this room.
100%.
Because there's a lot of people that are too afraid to even admit that they have to do something different to get to somewhere different. And so you guys, I keep coming back to it. I got such a level of respect. And if you're watching this back later, like, if you're sitting there, you're an artist, you're, you know, in any field, and you have a vision, you know, it goes back to, like, separating the vehicle from the destination. Figure out where your destination is, and then you can plug into whatever vehicle that you think is going to get you there.
100%.
And so that's kind of my whole thing. And I wanted to share one more story, and we're going to ask a couple questions here too.
Hold on now, because I know what story you about to tell, okay? Now, here's the negative part of taking action. But not saying that taking action is a bad thing. But when you take action without actually talking to the person who owns the company, that's when the problems come about. Go ahead and explain what you're talking about. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I thought I would take a little initiative around the office, and our carpet tiles come up very easy. And I thought maybe, like, it would look nice if we had a exposed, like, concrete floor.
Oh, no, you heard it right. You heard it 1,000% right. He ain't just do one.
Brian just happened to be out of town that week, so I thought I had a little bit extra time to pull this project off. And, yeah. Yeah, maybe like 30, 40 towels.
Yeah.
They're like a couple yards.
Couple yards. Here's the funniest part about it. I asked the guy, I said, I come around the corner, and he looks at me with a smile on his face. I said, oh, shit. I said, did you tell Brian? He said, no. I said, you better text him, and I ain't got shit to do with this. I'm going out of here. Next thing you know, we get a text in our group message. He said, listen, guys, I need you to run with me on this. And I'm like, they have no idea what's coming. Brian calls me. He's like, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him. I'm like, Brian, cool. He's cool. I got it. He'll be all right. Lo and behold, he wasn't the only person. We had another guy come in, and he doesn't even think about anything. He's like, you're pulling up towels? I'm going to do it with you. Let's go. How does that even match up? Like, what are y'all thinking, bro? Like, we just talked about this.
Yeah, so I made a quick run to the hardware store and got some carpet glue, and
Fix it up.
we resolved that issue.
We solved the issue.
But the reason I bring that up is because one of the things that it's going to happen when you take these steps, when you take action, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to move a little too fast. You're going to try to do some things, and I had good intentions in doing it. Like, I thought it looked better. Like, Jenna was with me, but like.
See, now you about to get hurt. Leave it. Just leave it.
Yeah, no, I think, overcoming the fear of failure
Yes, sir.
is part of it. But something I'm learning also is that it's overcoming the fear of success as well. I think sometimes I got this tension where, like, I'm holding on to these two ropes, right? And one's, like, pulling me into success. One's pulling me back into failure, like all my old things that I like, I'm still holding on to. And sometimes I just wonder, like, am I in this tension, or am I just choosing to hold on to the failure because I'm not afraid to fail? I've failed several times.
Right.
I haven't really hit the success that I see for my life yet. So I'm kind of afraid of that. Mm-hmm. You're afraid of the unknown.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not the stuff you know.
I would agree.
And so when it comes to everything we're talking about here, everything Brian said, Keith, and everybody that's been up here, like, it's going to come with unknown. It's going to come with new. It's going to come with, sacrifice. It's going to come with, every fear you could think of. I'm sure it's going to creep in at some point. So that's why having everybody in this room to talk to and to process through that. If you can get through the tough times, that's,
I know.
what was the phrase you said? It's you can only do the right things over and over so many times. And I don't know, I'm jacking this up. What's the?
You can't wake up every day and do all the right things and somehow get the wrong result.
What he said.
That was it.
What he said. That's what you tried to say was what he
said. It was more of like an abstract approach. I had all the words and I just threw them. And just figure out what I was trying to say.
It's the artist in you, bro. It's the artist.
I mean, you tried, bro. I'm proud of you for trying. I really am. No, but you're 100% right, man. I know we're running out of time, man, but I do think it's very important, again, for us to be able to be able to rely on each other, right? So as much as I can, I'm going to show you. I'm not just going to tell you, because this is part of also taking action, right? Not just talking about it, but showing with your actions. I'm going to show you that I can be here for you. So if there's anything that me and my boy Vinny can do for you, if you're like, Trey, it's been a long one, call me. I'm only a phone call away. Or my kids is on my nerve, call me. I'm a phone call away. I don't know nothing about your kids, and I don't know nothing about kids. You might have to call that one, but hey, call me. Call me, and I'll do what I can to help you, man. I think that he feels the same.
For sure, man. Always here. And we want to open this up to you guys as well, and just like ask a few questions if you're okay with that, and just kind of interact in a little bit. So,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Actually, Keith, can you give Miranda the microphone?
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
I want to ask Miranda, how many tile did Vinny tell you and me that he pulled up before today? I think he said like
15.
Well, he told me.
He told you 2.
He told Jenna 3.
Hey, this
he
is
told
my
me
Q&A
a couple.
session.
And I guess these lights must pull out the truth out of people.
I couldn't see you over there. I thought you went.
Thought you disappeared, Brian. Sheesh.
Yeah, so, taking action does lead to things. We just had the carpet company in last week to give us a quote to replace the whole thing, because I don't I don't trust Vinny's glue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know where those 30 or 40 are, but we can't have the lawsuit from somebody, slipping and falling on Vinny's carpet treatments.
At least I didn't send someone to Wyoming for no reason.
That's true.
Oh, so now you throwing shots. So we throwing shots. All right. Well, here we go
Okay,
then.
questions. We got questions.
Next question, please.
No. So I actually, the question I wanted to start with was Anthony. So recently reached out to me, and you're not a Steeler fan, correct?
Wow.
This guy's a Cowboys fan.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Man, y'all just saying all the wrong teams out there.
yeah.
I ain't saying no. Do we got any Steelers fans out there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Everybody up.
The reason I want to ask you a question though is because recently you bought a painting from me that was part of the art show, and it was a Steelers painting, and you bought that for somebody else in your line of work or someone that you work with. What do you think the importance of investing in people that you work with and gifting them things like that? Like, why is that culture important to you to show them that you're not just trying to do a transaction, but you actually want to be part of their life?
And that's exactly what it was. It was to show somebody he's actually he's a little bit of a mentor to me that he doesn't even know it. And I wanted to show my appreciation to him. Sorry, you guys put me on the spot with this.
It's all right.
I wanted to show my appreciation to somebody who has given me a lot without him even knowing it, and I wanted to cement a relationship moving forward. And it did. He had a grand opening in his new office, and I called Mr. Bryan and said, "Hey, Vinny still got that painting over there?" I think so. I was like, "All right, can I come out and get it?" And me and him had a couple conversations about this. I think he might have even given me the little hint that this is something I should do. It really did. I got to spend the week with him last week up in Connecticut, and I could see the difference in our friendship. And it wasn't like I was trying to buy a friendship, but I was trying to show appreciation to him.
Right. Well, I think that there's power in being creative in the way that you show people that you care about them. And, I obviously appreciate you reaching out to me to help with that. But, I want to challenge all of you to think about ways that they're like, Trey got up here earlier and said, text this person or this person in your family or in your business. There's creative ways to show people that you care about them and to think outside the box. And it's easy to just, write a card, but we don't do it, So what ways can you also take a next step to caring for people?
DG, I got a question for you, okay? In what ways have you been able to showcase your love to people without actually saying it since you've been here? Like, what have you taken away from this culture and given to the rest of the world in terms of love?
So one thing that the personal branding work that I've done here over the past year, it's really one thing that's done is change the people in my life. It's got the people away from me that I actually really thought was close to me. People that I feel like you spend so much of your life, attracting people, trying to be part of the clique. And when I found that as I put my values out there, the people that I might have been trying to attract or trying to be part of the clique really weren't really part of my clique at all. But it's brought people that you never really realized what their values were. When you put your messages out there, people started popping up everywhere. From my immediate community, from outside of the community, people I went to school with, they started popping up. And literally, I feel like I've got this miniature fan club. And that's ridiculous. It's not a fan club, but it's people that, in my mind, it might be a fan club.
Big time.
But it's really you talk about your tribe. I feel like I've found, or I'm working on finding my tribe outside of this room. And Like I had a lady that I went to school with just pop up yesterday and was like, great message, Daniel. Thanks for posting that. I haven't talked to that girl in years. So it's really, it's helped me just find my tribe in this room and really outside the room. I remember coming in this room just a couple years ago and just so excited and trying to make all these relationships. And now, when you're with your people, and it's taken some time to put that together, you don't really have to try so hard. I could sit over there on the corner of the stage, and when we go to break and just sit there and just watch the room, and people will migrate over and they'll go to talk to you. You don't have to try so hard when you know it's your people. So
That's good.
me putting my messages out there, me being in this room, it's really helped me find my people.
I love that. I always like to say, man, everybody give him a round of applause, please.
Thanks, Trey.
Story about Blake.
Oh, which one? So when Blake was in Pittsburgh here, when we were back in Pittsburgh in April, we were, I guess we were giving out goodies, and there was shirts and there was bracelets, and he got himself a bracelet. Well, I also got a bracelet, the rubber band bracelet. Well, he hasn't taken his off. Well, he went in the shop last week, the shop at my mom's house, and some of the stuff that I had gotten from that gathering, my bracelet was on top of the file cabinet in the shop. And he went and put that one on too. So now he's got two. And I was like, dude, let me get that bracelet back. He said, no, Dad, I'm going to keep this one too. So, he's wearing both of them. He's got this group, I'm not just saying this, has had just a major impact on my little 8-year-old boy. I mean, like, him and Brian are boys. They've met one time, and they're boys. Every time Brian calls, if Blake's in the car, our conversation gets put on hold, and they talk for a minute or two. So it's just cool. It's really made an impact. This tribe, we just happen to call it TCS. It's not only made an impact on my life, it's making an impact on my little boy's life. And that's huge, huge. When I was actually, the last event was the first event he had ever been to. And I really wanted to bring him to this one as well. And it took I had to think about that one. And then was it the right decision to bring a little boy from the East Coast all the way to West Coast? Just happened to be in Vegas. Probably not this time.
Yeah, not the best.
And when I told him that, I said, buddy, I don't know that this time's the right time. This is the right trip, man. He was dropping alligator tears. Like I sent him a picture of you on the stage earlier. I said, there's your boy. And I get a big smiley face back. Like these are they're not just my people, they're his people. So I appreciate that.
No, that's beautiful, man.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
One thing I like to say for sure, man, the best you is better for everyone else. That's for your enemies, that's for your family, and that's for your friends. Because as soon as you start doing great, the people who aren't supposed to be there won't be. The people who are will be. And the ones that love you will never go anywhere. So with that said, man, I appreciate your story, man. And tell little BG, that's my dog. Tell him to hit me up. You got to have some conversations.
Yeah. And I think we have time for maybe one more.
Two more?
I think we're on a 2-minute warning. We got a 2-minute drill right now, I think.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Is Bill here? Bill Ryman? I can't see. Sorry. I wanted to ask you. You're an athlete as well. So, what parallels have you found that you've taken from the locker room to your business?
Oh man, that's a lot. Trey and I have been talking about this all day, man. Like everything, just the coaching, leadership to growing up and playing football. Obviously, football's your life. You're constantly, Trey and I talked about it, you're constantly, everything in your life is football. And to transfer over to work and business and everything too, you carry a lot of that with you too. It's just it's been a big part of me. And just like adding the leadership end of it to my team, and just being able to kind of coach them along the way as well, too, has been a big part of what I do as a leader, too, and implementing that with our construction company as well. So, I mean, I can go on and on about it, but it's, it's
I
huge,
appreciate
man.
it. No, I just wanted to kind of frame that because I feel like, whether you played a sport or maybe you didn't, but, if you talk to an athlete for a little bit, there's just so many parallels to business and just life in general. So if you don't got an athlete in your life, get one in your life because give you a little.
We're pretty awesome. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna talk too much.
Good people.
We're pretty awesome.
Appreciate you, man.
There's one last thing that I want to do with you guys, and you guys got to bear with me. It's going to be fun, I promise. It's not going to be too emotional, but it's going to make you believe in yourself, so that's all that matters. So what you're all going to do right now, close your eyes. Here we go. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes.
Me too?
Yes, you too.
All right.
Repeat after me. I am limitless. I am limitless. I am limitless. Keep your eyes closed. Now with that, think about the person that tells you that you can't do something. What they look like, what they sound like, how they feel about you, everything they told you what is wrong with you, even though you don't agree. Repeat after me. You don't own me. You don't own me. Last one. I want you to scream this at the top of your lungs, okay? That little kid that's inside of all of us, right? I want you to tell them, I love you. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I love you. Ooh, don't that feel good? Open your eyes. Look at the smiles. Oh my goodness. You ain't smiled yet. I'm gonna get you to smile. God dang. There it is. Thank you guys. We're Athletic Aesthetic and
We love you.